I'm probably going to call and I'm probably going to lose. Is that okay?
If it's okay with you.
What would you do with that hand?
Oh, we're going to get a second opinion. Deeb all in. It's everything Johnson's got left to call.
Said you wouldn't be mad.
From Las Vegas, Nevada, this is Poker Night in America. Shaun Deeb cycled out for the moment right now. Lamb and Gonzales, the two pros at the table, both of them losing. Keir Sullivan could not miss a hand in our last session. He's the big winner so far, up over $60,000.
Last year was good. Really? Last year was really
This game does play with a straddle and the 7-deuce game. $500 ahead and $500 extra if you're the last to fold.
He's been playing smaller. He's being responsible.
Oh, we've got a 7-deuce first hand. Sigsbee's made it 300. Lamb's made it 1,000 with ace-9 off.
I mean, I'm a legit 10 handicap. I used to be like 6 or 7. Back when I would.
Well, this re-raise from Lamb does limit Sigsbee's options, so he can either lay it down or rip in a 4-bet. You've got to be kidding me. Makes it 9,300. And Lamb lays it down.
Let's go.
Pay that man his money.
Let's go.
That's a $500 penalty per player, plus an extra $500 from Ben. Ben will be first to act this hand. Is going to straddle before he looks at his cards.
Big set you got there.
You had a bigger set or a smaller set?
No.
Raised to 600.
Sullivan makes it 600 with Queen Jack offsuit. Queen 10 for Johnson.
Call 6.
Calls the 600.
Two outs.
And Lamb is going to
shit, yeah,
call
okay.
with 8 deuce suited. And it's 8 high.
Check.
Top pair for Lamb.
Check.
Checks all the way through. 3 of clubs on the turn. And now Lamb fires 1,400.
No, those are the pretty chips. Who's the other ones behind him?
Calls with Queen 10 high on the turn. Yee. River is a 5. Well, if Johnson called with the intention of repping a straight when a bad card comes for Ben, a bluff might work here. $2,200. And Johnson's been really quiet. It looks like a value bet. Lamb does call. Johnson sheepishly shows Queen high. And Ben slowly and painfully shows 8 deuce. Clay Johnson, more like Clay Pigeon.
You're going to play tight today.
You said Doja Cat is my favorite. Or
We talked about Doja Cat for half the time.
We've got the double Doja Cat straddle
I
on.
mean, you were thinking about folding.
Of course I was. I had a terrible hand. But
A7 suited for Clay
I mean, I couldn't
Johnson.
even put you on a bluff.
I would play that again.
Raised.
Ooh, makes it 1,200.
I enjoyed it.
Stackewicz with King 3 suited. Sigsbee folds. Lamb folds 5 high. Not gonna play. Sullivan with Queen 10, closing the action. He really knows how to strike a pose, this kid.
Call 12. 2-player.
Heads up to the flop, which is King Jack 6. An up and down draw for Sullivan. Johnson ahead with ace high and is drawing to the better hand, the flush. Sullivan snap raises.
The middle counts more.
Original bet's 14.
And Johnson's all in. Sullivan calls.
Whatever you want.
Once.
Okay.
Bet 14.
And they're going to run it one time.
Raised to 30,000.
Johnson the favorite.
I don't have a pair.
The jack on the turn is a safe card for
I
Johnson.
think you still got him.
A deuce on the river.
The river is an ace. That's a pair for Johnson, but a straight for Sullivan. And Keir continues his PNIA winning spree. You don't want to accuse a guy who looks like a member of the Manson family of killing.
10,000 behind C4 guys.
Sullivan straddling this hand.
Very often, anyways.
Johnson with King Johnson, the KJ hand.
500. Raise.
C4
Makes it 500. Ace 9 suited for Stackewicz.
We need to call him. We need to talk to him.
Ooh, looks like he's waiting on a reload.
re-raise to 1,500.
Makes it 1,500.
You raised to 5 and he raised to 15. Is that what's going on?
Is that 10?
Folds around to MJ with Jack 6 suited.
I'll just take the 10.
And pocket 9s for Sullivan. I mean,
is
what
straddle or a raise?
is happening?
Oh, that's a raise.
1,300 to call.
15.
Cool, just a re-raise to 10,000. Johnson out.
All right.
Stackewicz calls all in for 9,250. They're gonna run it once.
I got a pair.
Big pair?
No, well, whatever. You can just see.
Oh, I got one of them. That's great.
King 8, 5, 9's doing just fine. 2 diamonds now with the 10 on the turn.
Slow, like baccarat, yeah?
Can Sullivan fade it all? Finally, someone wins a pot off Keir Sullivan. Pair of aces for Stackewicz. Running down the 2 9s. And he is mortal. We're going to have to come to terms with this. All right, my babies, we're back with more Poker Night in America, where Keir Sullivan, poor soul, is down $2,000 from his peak of $60,000. He's still destroying everyone.
Lost 20.
The straddle is once again on. Stackewicz putting out 200 blind this time. Lamb with Queen Jack suited. Makes it $700. Stackewicz going to defend that straddle with ace deuce suited.
Call 7. 2 players.
Heads up to the flop. Ben Lamb bets $1,000 dark. Top pair and a diamond draw for Stackewicz. Oh, that feels so good.
Raise to 4,000.
Stackewicz makes it $4,000, and Lamb quickly calls.
One change.
I think you smoked too much.
Heads up.
Turn is the jack of spades, so Lamb now has 2 pair. Top pair is behind. Checks it to Lamb.
Bet
I didn't
6,000.
see the big man.
Lamb makes it 6,000. Stackewicz with an easy decision calls over 20,000 in the middle.
What do I want?
Yeah.
10.
River card is the flush for Stackewicz. 8 of diamonds that shines like justice.
There's a lot of money out there for 84.50. I don't think I'm going to win, though. I'm probably going to call and I'm probably going to lose. Is that okay?
If it's okay with you.
I would have no idea how to answer that question. Whatever I said, he would just insta-fold. 2 pair is a very strong hand. Lamb pays it off. Made good on his word.
Flush.
Called and lost. A nearly $40,000 pot.
I think so. I think so.
Wow.
Getting shipped to Craig Stackewicz.
Double, bro.
I think so.
Craig stacking chips.
Thank you.
There's a lot to work with there. I'm almost overwhelmed, honestly. Oh, how about this one? He's Mr. Cleaning up. Okay, action on Sigsbee. Folds, Deeb's out. Well, Deeb's in for Ben Lamb, but he's out of this hand.
Raise to 300.
Sullivan, 9-5 suited, makes it
I don't want
300.
to slow anybody down.
Stackewicz with ace
Then yes, 100%
Jackowitz
I'm in.
Raise 1,200.
Great. That was fun.
makes it 1,200.
Call 1,200.
And Sullivan
So I was golfing. This
is
was
going to see
a
the
couple
flop
weeks
with
ago.
9-5 of diamonds. Okay.
Um,
Ace,
Okay,
ace,
buddy.
king, trips for Stackewicz.
because they're fast.
Who are you playing with?
Goes check, check. Sullivan does catch up a little on the turn. Catch up
Yeah.
in quotation
And
marks.
so they
He
play
cannot
three,
win.
Par 3.
1,000.
Shane sticks it to probably 15 feet, slightly on the fringe.
Sullivan calls the $1,000 bet from Stackewicz. River
Watch him walk up to this fucking
is a
wall,
4th club.
hands over it, and I'm not exaggerating. Maybe 5 seconds.
Stackewicz checks. This board is ripe for a Sullivan bluff. Doesn't want to show down, just a pair of fives. Bets 2,600, hoping all non-club hands will fold. Non-club, non-full house hands. Is this going to be enough? It is. Trips fold, and Sullivan shows the bluff.
Yes.
You show, I show.
I'm pretty sure he wishes you didn't. Who brought this guy?
What's going on after Doja Cat?
After Doja Cat, we paint the town red.
What's going on after Doja Cat?
It's a Doja Cat song. Man, listen to music, will ya?
5, call 5.
All right, straddle's on. MJ's made it 500 with 7 deuce. Sullivan calls with king queen. We get calls from Stackewicz, Sigsbee, and Deeb, who have 9s, king 10 suited, and ace 5 off, respectively. 5 ways to the flop, which is 888. Happy Chinese New Year.
Check. Check. Check.
Action checks around to MJ, who probably is going to want to do his best to rep something big with 7 deuce. Makes it 1,500. Stackewicz calls with the full house. 8's full of 9s. Deeb folds ace 5 off. We're now heads up to the turn. Oh, this is a terrible card for MJ. Turns a worse full house. May decide to stop bluffing at this point. Pretty sure this is just a $2,200 bet for value now. Will not be folding out this better hand. River is the deuce of spades. Nothing changes about this board.
I sure hope you have pocket sixes.
Nines.
Not pocket sixes, actually the hand that absolutely pips you.
Yeah, 7 deuce.
The hardest one to see, pocket 9s. Not sure that any amount
That
could
make
have
you feel
gotten
happy when you said
Stackewicz
that,
to
Craig?
fold.
No one has sold more lifetime than me.
I agree.
You've got a couple good ones on me.
But you know what you have to have in order to slow roll is the best hand.
There always will be more.
Which means no one has the best
Look forward
hand
to it.
more than Shaun Deeb either. The straddle is
I think I'm
on
just not gonna
and
vote
the
for like 2
double
years just so you
straddle is
really,
on.
like, get
No,
your
I'll
guard down.
remember. Don't worry. I'm not going to forget. I'll remember.
Which means it's 400 to call. Deeb with ace jack suited.
Raised to 1,300.
He's not calling though, he's raising 1,300. Sullivan with a dominated but suited jack
Call 13.
comes along for the ride. Heads up.
2 players.
I see a 7 and 2 diamonds. I mean, come on. Deep checks. Sullivan bet 1,600. Deeb with the Thanksgiving Day float.
16.
Decides to see one more card. And that card is the 10 of hearts. Does not connect with either player.
Check.
Deeb checks.
Check.
Sullivan checks behind. River is the 5 of clubs. And Deeb with nothing but a bluff catcher. Does he want to bluff with it himself? Nope. A little too high of showdown value apparently for Deeb. Checks. And is Sullivan once again going to read correctly that this is a value bettable hand? Looks like it.
Bet is 37.
Wow, 3,700 instantly called by Shaun with ace high. Pays off second pair. So many hero calls in this lineup. None of them correct. Time for a commercial break. Welcome back to Poker Night in America. A quick look at the standings. Keir Sullivan still running too hot to handle, too cold to hold. Nope, just the hot part, actually. Up almost $70,000. Stackewicz up 25.5. Sigsbee, the only other winning player, up almost $13,000. And Stackewicz will straddle this hand. Pocket kings for Sigsbee. Oh, and it looks like Stackewicz might have the nuts.
7.
700 the raise. Pocket jacks for Keir Sullivan.
Raised to
3 bets to 3,000. And now Sigsbee has the opportunity to get more money in pre-flop. And against a dude who doesn't like folding and has already shown strength with a 3-bet, I love a 4-bet here. And a 4-bet indeed to 5,900. Sullivan may decide to play for the rest of it right now. He's got way more chips than Sigsbee. Just a call. Now, Sullivan does have the nasty habit of flopping sets against overpairs. And he does it again now. This is unreal. Sullivan checks. Sigsbee checks. Might not like that ace. The turn is a 9 of hearts. So Sigsbee does have outs now. Did have outs before. Has more now. A heart will make Sigsbee the flush. Sullivan bets 6,000 with the set of jacks. Sigsbee not ready to let this go. And the river is the queen of diamonds, which makes the nut straight for Sigsbee. Sullivan's jacks no good. And checks it over to Sigsbee. And Sigsbee does move the rest of his chips in. 11,000.
Outer fucking space if you have 7 deuce here and I fold.
Can you beat 7 deuce?
I think this is an annoying but fairly obvious laydown. What are you beating other than a terribly played set of 9s or 2 pair?
I need to think.
Sigsbee doing his darndest to give away nothing.
Made worse calls than this. Oh, I'm gonna go outer space if you have 7 deuce.
I don't think it would be that bad. Not good, but not that bad. Sullivan lays down the set correctly.
You're tanking on the river.
Who let this guy in?
Nice hand, brother.
Just had to double you up, and now you just crushed.
Keir claimed he's a good loser.
Oh, that
Story
was a
checks
good
out
hand.
so far.
I had a set. I had a set.
You won a pot, but didn't show your hand?
Yeah. He went all in on the river.
Sullivan straddling.
Man.
Clay Johnson with a couple of 10s.
Really?
It was a very bad river.
Raise to 600.
Johnson makes it $600.
was a good river.
Stackewicz
You
with
beat
pocket
already.
4s.
Well, yeah, I mean, I
Folds.
like to think like that. That's a good way to think.
Yeah, Shane got
Ben
really
Lamb with
unlucky
King
that
Jack
hand.
suited calls the $500. Sullivan also in with Ace 8 of the same suit. Clubs.
3 players.
3 ways to the flop. 7-7 tray. 10s doing real well.
That's 1,100.
Johnson going to go for 1,100.
Call 11.
Lamb calls, Sullivan folds. Interesting. Queen of spades on the turn. Checks. Not a great card for Johnson, who checks back. And the river is a 10 of hearts. $3,000. What a gift. I think Lamb's bluff gets through on many, many, many other rivers, just not that one.
All in bet.
There we go. Snap fold from Lamb,
Well,
unfortunately.
he didn't show, so he didn't bluff you at least.
Oh, yeah, that's really great, Sean. Thank you.
Probably not.
Who looks older, me or him?
Things are winding down.
Fuck, I didn't want to bring this conversation. I'm still tilted from last night.
I'm not playing this game, and also, what is this, ladies'
Like, you
night?
don't
We're
look
doing
old.
Guess My
You look
Age now.
Well, yesterday you looked older. You shaved today.
I
He's
did.
getting on
I got a
TV.
straight-
I like this game. I think everyone should give everyone else at the table
and
one compliment.
Oh, no, put the hat back on.
Yeah.
Sean Deeb, Queen, Jack.
Yeah, Shane, at dinner last night,
Offsuit
everyone
makes it
said I looked
300.
older than Craig, so it hurt.
I would have guessed you're like 38 or 40.
Folds around to Johnson. Johnson. Pocket aces.
29.
I don't even want to be playing.
Or 47.
1,100.
Or your,
good
your
guy.
USAM belt?
Johnson makes it $1,100, and Deeb calls.
No.
You have nothing on to indicating you played in the USAM and the AM.
No, but we can talk about that.
The AM and the mid AM.
Flop is Queen, Jack, Jack. Deeb flops a boat.
You open the next pile?
Johnson nearly dead with pocket aces.
Because he's very quick to tell you you played in the
Johnson
AM
bets
and the mid AM and
1,000.
Notre Dame.
I've
Usually
I've met
has
Shane like 7
clothing on.
times. He's never once brought up any of those things.
I don't believe you.
Deeb nonchalantly calls.
Do you remember?
Turn is a deuce of hearts.
Shoestring hole punch.
Is he going to put more money in this pot now?
When we punched the cigar with
cigars,
the shoestring.
You know, when they say put yourself in your opponent's shoes, you're not really supposed to do the betting for them. Sean's like, well, I've got all of this, so how much could Clay have? Not much. Probably just going to call. There it is, the call of $2,000. River is the 5 of hearts. Inconsequential for Deeb's hand.
Oh, well, that's probably what shocked me.
Yeah, yeah.
Johnson without a ton of chips left behind.
And school is really hard.
Pretty big.
He's in a tough spot. Sometimes a shove would get called by a queen. We know Deeb's got him smashed.
At the time, we had no indoor facility. They have one now.
I was gonna say.
What would you do? Knock off or just go on triple?
Johnson elects not to shove, but to bet $5,000.
Would you be mad if I did to you what you did to Ben?
What's that?
Going all in?
Not really.
I think Clay wants Shaun to move all in. I mean, we know he doesn't really want that, but...
What would you do with that hand?
Oh, we're going to get a second opinion. Don't worry, kids. It's a home game. Plus, Ben won't answer. Deeb all in, which technically means it's everything Johnson's got left to call.
Said you wouldn't be mad.
And he's not going to be able to get away from it for this amount.
Have to call.
Johnson calls, gets stacked. Seat open.
Nice hand.
Thank you.
All right, I'm out of here.
Have fun,
Take what?
Clay Johnson and his $20,000 won't be coming back. The 3 biggest pros are the 3 biggest losers. Craig Stackewicz and Shane Sigsbee are up around $25,000 each. And Keir Sullivan continues to smash up nearly $60,000.
What happened to Clayton?
He ran to a boat in a 3-bet pot.